Shravanadibirudipta jnanagni paritapitaha jīva sarvamalan mukta svaranadyotate svayam. Shravanadibihi, by hearing and so on. Udiptaha, kindled. Jnanagni paritapitaha, heated in the fire of knowledge. Jīvaha, individual. Sarvamalan, from all impurities. Muktaha, freed. Svarnat, like gold. Dyotate, shines. Svayam, of itself. The jīva, free from impurities, being well heated in the fire of knowledge, kindled by hearing and so on, shines of himself like gold.
Namaste. So in this verse, the jīva is a jīvan mukta, liberated while still living in the body. And it says free from impurities, because that's what a jīvan mukta is. But how? By being heated in the fire of knowledge. I've seen this in a goldsmith shop in India, where they take old gold, like old broken ornaments and bracelets and rings and whatever, and put it all in a crucible. Then they build a coal fire underneath, and using a blower, they heat it very, very hot. It becomes red hot, orange hot, even yellow hot. And the impurities rise to the top where they can easily be scooped off. And what's left is pure gold. So in the same way, the fire of knowledge heats the jīva until the impurities rise to the top. Well, what is this? Viveka, discrimination between the real and the unreal. So life is a mixture of real and unreal. To purify the jīva, they have to be separated. How? By being heated in the fire of knowledge. Atma-bodhah, Brahma-jnana, the narrations of the Upanishads, and these wonderful scriptures by Shankaracharya. So when the mind is inundated, immersed fully in these narrations about Brahman, this is like being immersed in the fire of purification, because the discrimination that results separates the impure from the pure. And of course, the impure, as it turns out, is everything that can be perceived. The world, the body, the senses, the mind, and so on. All of these things that can be perceived are maya. So they don't really exist. They're not fully real because they have a beginning and an end. And because they have a beginning, they will have an end. Therefore, the wise separate themselves from them. And this is like being heated in the fire of knowledge. So because of the viveka, the discrimination between the real and the unreal, then arises renunciation, vairagya, where the unreal is given up. This is the process of purification. It's all part of the sadhana chatushtaya, which is given in the very beginning of this work. So, because he is heated by the fire of knowledge, the purified jīva shines of himself. Once he has realized this knowledge, once he has divorced himself from the unreal, then he shines just like Brahman, because he is Brahman. And previously the impurities were covering him up. But once they are removed by fire of knowledge, then they're all gone. And he shines forth. How does he shine? Like consciousness, like Brahman. Brahman illuminates everything, and so does consciousness. That's why we can perceive things, because of the illuminating power of consciousness, of Atman. So we are that Atman, we are that Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, and nothing else. The other things were simply coverings applied on top of each other in many, many layers. And this is why we feel burdened. This is why we feel exhausted in material life. That all these coverings are weighing us down. We have to drag them everywhere we go. Honestly, it's so much work. But once these coverings are removed, we feel light, we feel free. We feel uninhibited, uncaged, that we can go anywhere, we can do anything. That is the freedom of liberation. And that is what we should all be striving for here. So this fire is kindled by hearing and so on. Hearing is Shravanam, hearing from the scriptures, hearing from the wise, the realized, the guru. Then comes Mananam. Mananam means thinking it over, thinking it through, trying to explain to oneself how the statements in the scripture are true. And then finally comes Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam means sit down and contemplate until you realize it. So some people wrongly think that simply Mananam is enough for self-realization, but that's not true. Then you have to realize it until it becomes a state of being. It's no more just knowledge. It is who you are, what you are. And you are like that everywhere, all the time. You have changed. You have unloaded all the impurities, removed all the blocks. It's expressed differently in different traditions. For example, in the Sri Vidya, there are the three Granthis, the Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, and Rudra Granthi, that block the spinal channels. And they are symbolic of attachments of different kinds. But it's the same thing, whether it's expressed in terms of Granthis or vasanas or conditioning or however it's expressed. It means that the real self is covered by ignorance. So this ignorance has to be removed. And the best way to remove it is by heating with knowledge. That means immersing oneself in knowledge 24 hours a day. For example, we have given several tools for this process. I don't know that anybody really knows how to use them. But we have made a recording of all the verses in Atma-bodhah in 2 parts. And we posted them on this playlist earlier in the history of the playlist. And you can download these. There's MP3 files that are listed in the video descriptions, or you can watch it as a video. And this goes through the entire Atma-bodhah in about an hour and a half. And it makes a wonderful meditation, because that way all the thoughts that are given in the separate verses are now connected into a big context. And it's very easy to understand the import, the purport, the meaning of this great work. So you should use these tools, and you should also chant these verses along with us in the beginning of the video. And this will help you to remain immersed. We now have a community discussion site where we post all these videos along with their transcriptions. So you can watch the video and read the transcription at the same time. This, again, helps you to immerse yourself in the fire of knowledge, so that the impurities of various kinds can be burnt off, and the real self will shine through.
Tat Sat, Om Shakti Om.